Let's do this in order and begin with...
Are we live? OMG! What's up, everybody? I don't know why I am so freaking tired today. Like, today is like the weirdest day for me because it's like, I think this is like the most relaxed I have ever been. I don't know why, because it's just like, it's such a nice day outside today. I love it. Anyways, so, you know, to the normal planning that we do, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, for some reason. Just always the game I default to play. I mean, you know, maybe I'll play Pokemon or something. Maybe that'll get more people's attention. I'll just play Pokemon. I don't know, people like Pokemon. It's like monotonous enough, but it's like very difficult for people to like fully get engaged in when they're watching. But at the same time, I like pause the damn live stream. Pause like because you guys gotta be able to hear me, you know. Besides, it's also like a good way for me to like gauge whenever I'm like, if I need to end the live stream. Like, I haven't like ever actually like beaten the game while on the live stream, but like it'd be interesting if I did, if I ever got to the point of being able to. Gosh, bro, it's freaking, I'm not sure if it's just Isis being so prevalent with me today. Like, if she, my goddess Isis is prevalent a lot today, but I'm just like, not here. Gosh, I'm so fucking tired. I've been, like, in and out of,
Jaw-breaking news.
like, things. Alright, also, I'm gonna start my my own bet. I'm gonna, like, am I gonna be able to beat the game today? I'm not sure. I don't actually, like, if it means getting, like, people, like, views and, like, talking to people, then no. I've been working on a video, but I've just been very, like, slow with making it. Because I keep getting like wound up into things, but I'm gonna have like a lot of free time here soon, or like enough free time to be able to like do what I needed to do. So I'm gonna finally get my my video of Anubis done. I need to just like feel like better to do it. Gosh, I wanted to do it today, but I feel so sick. Like, I think I had like the weirdest fever dream last night, and I genuinely think that like played into it. Just like, I had like a weird dream that I was at my grandma's house with my cousins, and I was like naked for some reason. I felt really awkward. Those really like awful dreams where you like dream that you're naked for some reason. I hate them. But actually, guys, you know, it might be symbolic. What's up, Dahlia? Elia, oh my goodness, it's been so freaking long. How have you been? Like, you're alive, right? Like, I want to make sure you're alive. Like, you disappeared for like a long time, and I was like, man, Dahlia, she's not like talking about me in my videos anymore. I'm like, she died? I'm just making sure you are. Okay, I'm glad you're alive. Although I don't know, are any of us really alive? Let's be real here. Like, you know, maybe we're all like dead inside. Well, I mean, I think a lot of us are dead inside, but like maybe the conspiracy theory that we're all like living. We're all like living the life that's flashing before our eyes. Haven't be able to watch your live or videos. In my defense, in your defense, I haven't posted in a long time. And I felt so bad because I've had so many videos I was wanting to talk about are like so many topics I've been wanting to talk about, and I just have not been able to because of like so much shit that started going on. Just I'm glad that I am back and that I was able to like start working on the videos again. Fuck. Cause like, again, I've been away for so long. And as I've said before, because I know people like, I know like a lot of people have had these kinds of like issues with some religious channels like Shrine of Anubis. I am already saying this now, I will not ever abandon the channel. I just have to, I had to be away for a while due to just a lot of in real life stuff. In short, because I actually never got to like fully discuss this with the people, in short, the biggest thing that like caused me to be away was getting laid off from my farm job and like not having any idea what to do with money. And so because I had like no like financial stability, I could not like focus on anything. Like all I could like focus on was money, 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 money. And I thought in my delusional head, I'm like, you know, maybe it's a sign from the gods that I'm meant to like only work on the YouTube channel. No, it was not. It was not a sign from the gods. That would be stupid to assume as much because I fell behind on rent, fell behind on bills, and decided to wait a whole month before getting another job. It was a clusterfuck.
What's going on?
So that happened. As much of, well, let's be real here though. OMG, I've been trying to structure my money. Now after tax season, I have to pay so much to the IRS. Bro, fuck the IRS. We just need to say it. We need to say the quiet part out loud. Fuck the IRS. They always say don't mess with the IRS, but you know what? Fuck off. I hate the IRS. We should, you know what? Maybe we should just cancel the IRS on Twitter. I think that'll get our point across. Let's just cancel the IRS. They don't deserve rights. Maybe we should all like start paying off the IRS in like penny increments so that they get like really tired of their existence and they won't want to be like a corporation anymore. Well, I wish we could. If we start enough of like a Twitter uproar, we will probably be able to make the IRS at least notice us. Like, no, I have a better idea. Let's just like storm the IRS. Like, let's just get like a bunch of people together and storm the IRS. They can't stop us all. You know, like we just like repeat January 2021. Except that the IRS. You know, let's be real here. We're gonna do an actual genuine good cause to America by storming the IRS. It's not gonna be like the inauguration. Although I should probably say this is a Q&A with Monk for Anubis, not Q&A ask person who wants to storm the IRS. Maybe I'll change I'll change the name of the live stream, you know, let's talk about storming the IRS. And so many people will be like, what the hell are you talking about? Storming the IRS? Do you have a death wish? The IRS has got enough money to silence me. In all seriousness, though, I should probably talk about like everything that's been going on spiritually and why spiritually I myself have been away. Oh shit, there was something important I was gonna say involving Anubis. Involving like a lot of things. There's like a lot I should talk about. Oh. Just so everybody knows, I will be doing the, like I do every live, at the end of the live stream, I will do a tarot card reading. I don't know who the message is for. I never know who the tarot reading's for, so it'll definitely be just a reading for whoever it pertains to. But let's answer your question. I'm not sure what to ask about Anubis though. I don't know. I don't know he's been around here lately. Anubis hasn't been distant. Anubis, I don't know if it's... Anubis hasn't been distant with me. It's been Seth that's been, like, active completely with my life right now. And you don't have to, like, ask a question. Like, you know me. Like, I'm all about, like, multiple religious questions. Because I know you don't just work with Anubis. You work with, you work with multiple gods. I probably should start changing the live stream to, like, Q&A with, like, religious scholar / monk with the for Anubis. Because it's like, I can just, like, more people will ask questions when they, like, know I'm very diverse in the religions. I've unironically been curious, why does... I want to worship more Japanese gods, like Izanagi, no Okami, but, like, I just don't know what nobody worships those gods. It always just makes me upset. It's like, I really want to, like... I really want to work with, like, Izanagi, but, like, no one works with Izanagi, so I can't ask, like, any questions on... It's like, I'm a monk and all, but it's like, I also have to, like, ask questions when it comes to, like, a god I don't work with. I still think that, that is the problem. I did also want to talk about, kind of why I've been away. This will kind of be like, maybe if I actually decide to get off my fucking ass and, like, do things, I can edit this. So, there's a multitude of reasons for why I've been gone. As I said before, I got laid off from my job, and that was just a very difficult time, and I just was never motivated to do videos. As I think, reasonably, let's be real here, guys, when you have no money, why would anybody be motivated to work on a YouTube video designed for other people? I mean, come on. I mean, unless that was my career, which I would like for YouTube to be my career, but on top of just getting laid off, I did decide to go back to college. Well, you know, if anybody who's been to college knows, when it comes to trying to go to college, you have to deal with a multitude of things. Oh, what's up? Mistress Angelica. Girl, that name, girl, they, them, it, male, I'm not sure whatever your name is. Whatever your pronouns are, I'll respect whatever you want. But that is a fucking amazing username, I hope you know. Like, you got a great username. Like, that's just amazing. But, yeah, as I said, you know, everybody who knows about college, you know how fucking difficult college can be to apply for. I have been touring colleges, filling out FAFSAs, deciding what college I want to go to, what I want to major in. Finally decided on a college. Have to wait to get applied to apply to it, because I have to wait till FAFSA gets back to me. But this is like the weird situation. Lol, I go by she, her, and they, them. Alright, I respect everything here. There were many gods that actually had no set genders, including Anubis, because Anubis had like he actually, unironically, I don't know what his gender is, like, I think he predominantly goes by like a masculine position, but like, in his mythology, he is married to himself, so that happened. Anubis is my dad. It came to me in a dream. Father Death, that's what I would call him. Father Death. Also, according to some god-spousing traditions, because I'm god-spouse to Anubis, and I'm also a monk for him, if you're Anubis's child, and I am Anubis's spouse, according to pagan definement of god-spousing, does that mean you're like my daughter? Oh my gosh, you're my daughter! Hi! Oh my gosh, girl, how's school been? By that logic, I think you're my daughter. I'm joking, of course. But, what I was gonna say is, fudge. Crap. Oh. So, I mean, that's just my position. I'm God spoused, and I want to actually get into God spousing. And I actually want to redo my video on God spousing with my current situation and everything that I found out. Was that thunder? It's like freaking clear outside. So, fuck. When it, crap. Now I have no train of thought. You know what? I give up. So, when it comes into like the biggest reason why I was away for such a long period of time, it actually ends up having to do with a big mental health issue that ended up happening. I can't wait for that video. I'm making that video. I'm remaking a lot of videos because I'm thankful for what happened mental health wise, but I'm actually I genuinely need to go back and rethink a lot of things that I was practicing with, because it was a big exponential question. And what had happened was I recently got diagnosed with... Hold on, I think someone's knocking on my door. I muted myself. Did anybody hear me? Somebody tell me where I left off. I'm not sure when I muted myself. Shit. What happened? No! I muted myself. Okay. You know what? Just because I don't know, I'm going to just sum it up real quick. Okay. I got diagnosed with psychosis. Nope. Fuck. Okay. I got diagnosed with psychosis. I had to start looking back and reflecting on my relationship with Anubis. Really, that's as far as I got. Fuck. Okay. Alright. In short, I got diagnosed with psychosis. And I had to start looking back on my relationship with Anubis and what was and wasn't Anubis. And it was really important that I did that because it allowed me to understand that I was projecting a lot of insecurities onto Anubis and making like this false image of who he is and what he stood for. Now, I am still God-spoused, but I do not think that my God-spousery is a romantic relationship. I think as a monkhood. I know I'm still God-spoused because particularly I know that I resign with Anubis. I resign with what he stands for, and I still love him, even in a more of a sense that somebody loves their god for the types of things that they do for them. And I will still continue to tend to the dead and other kinds of things. Now, as I said, I have a very different opinion on God-spousing now. I don't actually think this intimate relationship is a thing. And I actually pointed that out in the actual video I wrote on God-spousing, or I made on God-spousing, and I stated that God-spousing relationships are not designed to be predominantly romantic. God-spousing relationships are, and have always been, a strong resigning with a specific god. The narrative that they were solely romantic as something that just has been added on and off throughout the time that God-spousing has been practiced. So, my thing is, I, with having psychosis, am getting treatment for it, and I'm starting to look at things that I had happen to me, and I'm going back but what caused my psychosis? They have all said it was something that happened from like childhood trauma, and I think I've always had it for the longest period, but they said that a lot of what happened with my psychosis was a result of like a lot of traumatic experiences at a young age that kind of played into it. The biggest thing they kind of were associating it with was, I don't know if any of you guys have heard of maladaptive daydreaming. It's a bit of an issue, but I have bad maladaptive daydreaming, and particularly, how do I put it? Particularly, it collided with the psychosis, and oftentimes I had like engrossed myself in a big fictional reality that was just a coping mechanism. But that, I actually do remember, unironically, and I had asked Anubis a question for something that I knew was fictional, like a story that I had conjured and made up in my head, and Anubis deadass told me, like, no, and told me to stop talking about it, because it was not true and it was fiction. So, it's like, I know when it's Anubis, not when it's Anubis, I know that Anubis has always been with me, but to some of this projection stuff that I did, I really had to start going back and realizing, like, what really was Anubis and what was just my imagination. And I don't like to pin blame onto people here, but I think it's important for me to kind of put blame where blame is due. Modern paganism is a fucking problem because of the amount of shit I suffered with due to having psychosis is seen so immensely in so many other pagans that it just kind of like, it makes me frustrated. Like, this, like, the biggest reason I suffered with Anubis is, like, over-territorial nature, which he's not a very overly territorial god. He's a very protective god, but to associate him with this, like, severely territorial trait that he's gonna stop you from working with other gods, which, I'm gonna say, some pagans I have seen genuinely associate Anubis with. It's just, like, this issue I've seen is that, like, my psychosis stemmed because a lot of modern pagans don't know what they're talking about and know nothing of their practice and are just spreading, like, a whole shit ton of misinformation on how practices work. Like, I want to say, you know, everyone is a child of a god. That, like, there's a very specific reason why gods will oftentimes associate people with, like, my child. And some gods, like Isis specifically, she is she's a very loving deity. She's a very affectionate deity. She might act towards you a little bit more romantically. But for some people to imply things like you're like the reincarnation of a god's lover, or I don't know how many times I do with people who think they're the reincarnation of Cleopatra, those implications just start getting ridiculous, and that's always been my issue. And that's just kind of where I've been having some issues, because when I start reading into paganism, this is like a problem. This is, well, actually, no, I'm sorry, this isn't even just a problem in paganism. Like, y'all, have y'all not, like, how many people claim to be Jesus? It's like a big issue with religion, honestly. I don't want to just pin blame on paganism, but, like, my biggest issue I had was what really started, like, playing into these, like, delusions. Like, oh my gosh, guys, like, I at one point thought I was the Antichrist. It was that bad. But, like, what really started playing into some of these delusions was the information I was getting from pagans. That they were telling me that everything I was going through is absolutely the gods trying to communicate with me, and everything I was doing was hurting me a lot, because it was never the gods, it was all in my head. Yeah, and that's like, I'm inspired to make another video at some point that I'm literally just gonna call, like, when is it a god and when is it in your head? And because of having the psychosis, I was, like a lot more relieved, because I could finally understand, like, what was actually in my head and what wasn't. And that's why I was so glad when I figured out what it is. I mean, I'm not saying psychosis is a gift or anything, but it was definitely, like, a big eye-opener for me at the time, because it allowed me to finally, like, figure out how to get myself into place and to, like, actually be a bit more of a leader. And I even told that to, like, the therapists that I have to talk to. I said, you know, I've got, like, a bunch of people who look up to me on, like, social media, and I want to go into, like, not only do I want to kind of go into, like, public speaking and, like, motivational speaking, but I want to go and be, like, a more pagan leader. And if I have psychosis, I'm not going to have a lot of credibility. Because people are not going to take someone with psychosis, they're not going to respect anything you say, and they're likely going to pass it off as a delusion. Which rightfully so, because let's be real here, guys. If we look at situations like the Comet Crisis of 1910, where people died because someone said they received a revelation from God and the world was ending, yeah, I don't think we should be taking, like, a lot of people with psychosis as accounts accurately. But that's why I was so adamant to go get help for it, because it's like I want to give you guys actual information. I want to give you guys, like, actual tools and experiences that you guys can apply into life, and that you guys can, like, apply when it comes to working with your gods. And I don't want to be giving you guys just my own delusions. Oh, I'm so glad there's another person in here with my situation. I don't know if you want to talk about it, it's up to you entirely, but what was your psychosis like, and how did you recognize it? Because, like, a lot of people I talk to over things, the biggest thing I've noticed when it came with psychosis is that they talk about, like, every minor event in life is effectively a sign from a god. And I had so many people, like, point that out to me, because, like, I heard, like, a whippoorwill, and whippoorwills are associated with, in, like, Indian mythology, they're associated with, like, harbingers of death. And I kept thinking that that was Anubis telling me my grandma was going to die. And I just, the over-exaggerated things that I imagined was ridiculous. I hated the fact that I had it, because it just made everything so much difficult. But yeah, please do tell me about your experience with psychosis, if you want, of course. You know, sometimes that's really personal information people don't want to give out. But, like, I kid you not, like, my biggest issue I had with Anubis, particularly, I ended up breaking a giant mirror in my apartment with a huge crystal. I also went to jail for biting my mom. Oh my goodness. Same here with the suicide attempts, too. Because I had, like, numerous suicide attempts. And I remember when I first started working with Anubis, and he would get so mad at me for this. When I first started working with Anubis, I constantly thought that, like, Anubis was not here to help me. He was actually here to help me finally die. And he would get so mad at me for that stuff. And it took me, like, so long to, like, get over that. And I think a part of me, even still internally, was thinking that that's what he was here for. And it really, like, made working with him hard. But see, it's like, I don't want to blame pagans for that one, because I was just, like, I was suffering with a lot of trauma at that time. But, like, that was, like, such a big issue I was having. Like, the thinking your gods wanted something specific out of you. Oh my gosh, and I want to say this right now, like, I will one day, this is my promise to you guys can't see me, but I'm putting my hand on my heart right now. This is my promise to you guys. I am going to make a video that is actually going to tell you guys what sex offerings are and how they actually work, because, oh my gods, it's so stupid. I found nothing but stupid answers for sex offerings, and they have affected me so greatly because of that shit. Yeah, I will genuinely give you guys, like, a proper video on sex offerings. What are they? How do they work? And how can you give one? And what it isn't. And I'll actually talk about it in here in a second. Yeah, the gods didn't like me doing that either. Yeah, they don't like it projecting things. Oh my gosh. I'm surprised my gods didn't just, like, up and abandon me, honestly. Like, I'm gonna be real. I'm surprised they did it, because, like, genuinely, I was so, like, my episodes of psychosis were so bad. The amount of projection I was doing on my gods was ridiculous. And I want to say, when it comes to, like, the sex offering situation, my biggest issue I had with Anubis specifically with sex offerings is I kept constantly thinking, all the time, that Anubis did not like me, because me and Anubis were God-spoused. I constantly thought that it was my duty, as somebody who was God-spoused, to only be, like, relieving myself to him, and him only. And I would think that I always used to think he would get so angry if I didn't, because every single time I would do something like that, he'd, like, tap on, like, I'd hear, like, a thud on the altar. No, it was never Anubis. You know what it was, though? It's called, my fucking shelf or the place where his altar is on is old as dirt, and it makes a lot of noise. Why? Because it's old, and it goes a lot. It doesn't mean it's Anubis trying to contact with me. And, oh my gosh, it was such a problem, because it started feeling like I did not have, like, relieving myself, the time I had was not my own time. It was not my time to just do as I wanted and, you know, relax and, you know, do as I wanted with myself. It started feeling like it was just like an obligation to do it because that's what I was supposed to do as a god spouse. No. That was not at all what it is. I look up stuff about god spousing, And I start finding that this is defined so differently, or not God spousing, by like sex offerings. These are defined so differently by different pagan practices. And a lot of them have said that for some gods, the best kind of offering, like sexual offering you can give them, is by enjoying yourself and just invoking them so they get the energy. And it has nothing to do with this. You specifically need to be relieving yourself to them and them only. You need to specifically be thinking of them whenever you're doing this. You need to like light a bunch of incenses and like make them feel the mood. From what I've also like gathered is that sometimes if you're like your god wants an offering like that, they will reach out to you, and you'll just notice that the moment you're having feels different. But it's not gonna be like them physically manifesting themselves into your bedroom and, I don't know, sitting on your face or something. Like, the gods don't want you to commit suicide because you are here to fulfill a contract that your soul had already made even before you decided to be born. I like that analogy because that is also, I think, said with like Izanagi in the Japanese religion. But what was I gonna say was really important? Sheesh, it was an important thing to mention. But like I said before, like it was a constant
I smell a new story.
like that issue. Like, okay, like again, guys, your god, you can't like if relieving yourself to your god is what like works, then do that. Like if that's what works for you, then do it. But like someone like me, I change. Like I'm just not into like the same thing. I can't like do it to the same thing over and over again. And it just like it really messed me up because I started genuinely feeling like Anubis was like wanting me a lot more than he actually was. Yes. And it started just making me feel like just like I never had control. Like I used to think, oh my gosh, I hear my altar tapping. This must mean Anubis wants to talk with me. I better meditate. No, like none of this. Everything I suffered from was just a big lie that I was making up, and I hated it. And I'm just glad that it's over and I know what's wrong, because now I can like actually like give you guys genuine information. And if videos are probably not going to be like super frequent. There's a lot of videos I want to do, but I still would just want to say don't expect like this massive incline. You're gonna have like a video every day. Woohoo! No, like I still have a job, I still have colleges I got to apply for. So, but yeah, that's my story with psychosis. And why I also wanted to share with you some common misconceptions about sex offerings and about other things and about all of paganism, because I don't know what the hell happened to this religion. It has really become just a lot of it's just become like this big situation of like denial is a river in Egypt. You are experiencing psychosis, because like that's just like all I see with some of these pagan groups. Guys, I just got over a breakup and I saw a mourning dove. Does this mean that he's gonna come back and we're gonna get married? Guys, I just spent like $100 on this tarot card reader, and they said that I got the Tower Arcana. No, guys, I got the Death Arcana, and this means my ex is coming back. Guys, Guys, I got the Death Arcana. This means that this means he's coming back. Also, I don't know, maybe we should talk about it. Does anybody else hate modern tarotism? Like, I always like when I do my own tarot card readings, I always try to like make a story, and I don't like ever like I do like my own readings are very different from other people. And I think that's what makes my readings a little bit more genuine, but I gotta go, but thank you for the live. I'll catch you later. Bye, Dahlia. I hope you come back. But like, bros, like, I'm being for real here. Like, modern tarot readers are just something else. Like, I don't know, sometimes I wonder, you know, are you a tarot reader or do you just have white girl powers? Did you figure out you're a tarot card reader based off of your fortune cookie? And I'm being even more honest, like so many tarot card readers I've met, like really bad ones, they're always the most like basic white bitch you've ever met. Like they got like that generic fucking like Tinder profile picture as their profile. They got like the little puckered out lips, and they got like the Snapchat filter on, and they got like the peace sign, and they always have like a tarot card reading. I was obsessed with watching tarot spreads for a while, but I took a break on tarot spreads. Wow. I mean honestly, like, I don't know, I just can't trust tarot card readers because like it's so easy to say something simple, but to actually like give something that would like make you look a little bit more credible than the other ones is like, I don't know, my issue with tarot is it's like this one woman I remember I was watching, she was doing a reading and she said like, here's all the gems I have. You make sure you pick one depending on what you feel. I'm like, okay, and she has like 3 gems. She had a rose quartz, an obsidian, and a diamond. And I picked the rose quartz. Well, you know what she says? I picked the rose quartz because at the time, you know, little delusional Kemetic monk over here. Yes, I feel the passion in the rose quartz. It was supposed to be like you pick a gem and it tells you what your soulmate's gonna be like. She picks a rose quartz and she's like, I'm sensing a lot of hormones from this person. Like, ooh, the energy's like really sexual. He's gonna be really flirty. This fucking gem was literally in the shape of a fucking heart. Like, congratulations, ma'am. You came to the most basic fucking conclusion. You come to the most basic conclusion and you look at the comment section, OMG! This really matches with my husband! Like, I'm not sure if I want to fault the tarot readers or if I want to fucking fault... If I want to fault just the stupidity of society. Like, I can't, how stupid that was. And I remember this one girl, she blocked me. We got in such a mad argument. She freaking was doing tarot card readings. She charged like 20 bucks a reading. And oh my gosh, she was like, I wonder if she was suffering from psychosis. She did a tarot card reading and she's like, hi, I have another message from the gods. I know. It's getting really annoying. Oh, I bet I know what the message is from. It's from Lilith. She pulls out the cards and she starts, oh, we got the Page of Wands. We got the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so this card means you're gonna be in love. Okay, so I go and I actually like look into the cards that she's pulling, okay? None of the cards she had were anything good. All of the fucking cards she were pulling was like, be wary of, like, it was like literally one of the interpretations of the cards she pulled said like the most common interpretation is be wary of false people. And she was pulling the card. And I'm like, wow. You know it's bad when even the gods are fucking calling you out in your own reading. Like, I forgot which card it was, but it was like, in general sense, be wary of false people. And it was dead ass talking about her. She had her own reading sheet, they were calling her out. It's so bad. And like, literally, her whole fucking TikTok is just consistent of this kind of content. And all you have are just me falling off a fucking building. over and over again because I'm stupid. But like that's just it, and you just have all these comments like, OMG! This is my boyfriend! The cards were talking about him and I! It was ridiculous. It was so stupid. Like, I don't have too much, actually, no. I don't have hate on normal tarot card readers, but like, let's be fucking real here, guys. We can't trust readers. We cannot trust tarot readers. Like, it's stupid. I'm sorry. Like, I'm so skeptical of my tarot card readers. Like, I don't even really I don't even do readings, like, for myself. Like, I can easily do one for me if I want to. I don't need someone else's input for it. Although, I don't know, whenever I ask Isis to do a reading, she always gives me 2 cards. And every other god gives me 7, she'll only give 2. She's like, she has her own method, and she's gonna do it in her own way, and I'm gonna have to deal with it. But yeah, no, I still can't get over that whole situation of like, deadass pulling a card that's telling people in a general sense to be wary of false people, and it was in your own reading. Oh my word, yeah. Gosh, I can't stand it. Like, I think I actually might do like a podcast one of these days with somebody I know of that like constantly battles like false tarot card readers. And I might do a podcast with her because like she got scammed so many times. And there was this one woman, Miss Dahlia is what we called her. Not Dahlia in like the comments, it was another woman. She fucking stole $300 from somebody because the woman said that, or I forgot what happened. It was, she charged them for 20 and then they took 300 out. They accidentally donated 300 and then she never gave the money back. And it was a problem. She stole like $300. Or there was this one person that charged like so much tarot. Wait a minute, no, I think I have a good example. There was that one fucking lady on TikTok, the old hag, that said she was a psychic. I don't think anybody remembers that. Where there was this old, like, hag dirtbag woman that, like, said she was a fucking, like, she, like, could communicate with dead spirits, and, like, every single time somebody, like, asked her for a reading, her readings were so off. Like... And she would like shit on like her live streams. So she'd like take callers and she'd be like literally on the toilet and she'd be like, yeah, so your dad, he was a good man. Anyways, so you were really connected. And like sometimes the women would be like, no, my dad like abused me. What the fuck? What are you talking about? Oh, well then it's not for you. Sorry. What? I hate it. I hate modern day spirituality. It's so bad. Like, we've really, like... I don't know if I want to say if it's Christianity that kind of caused this, but we've really, like, started abusing... We've really started abusing... really started abusing weak-minded people, and it's pretty bad. You know, they say that we don't live in a survival of the fittest world anymore. I'd say it's just the survival of the most intelligent to some degree. And I feel bad. I won't say not the most intelligent, just like the most gullible. That's what I've seen. Like, it's a struggle in the fucking... in the field. Although, guys, you know, honestly, I think, like, let's be real here, guys. You know, let's be real. Obviously, the only correct religion is Donald Trump. Like, come on. We know better. Although I myself am independent and have pretty, like, neutral, mixed feelings on Donald Trump for his stuff. We all can agree that MAGA Republicans and their cult-like behavior is something that we can laugh at. Like, y'all. They held somebody held a birthday party for Donald Trump. Okay? Like, what? They held a birthday party for Donald Trump. None of them even knew him. But like, let's laugh a little bit more because there was this one comment that I came across on a TikTok. Because I'm also on TikTok. You can find me at Religion is Gray. You've been selected. Oh my gosh. You've been selected from the YouTube Partner Program to be sacrificed at our 34th annual Creator Con on June 12th, 23. Oh my gosh, are you serious, BMG Gamer? Oh my gosh, I get to be sacrificed? Guys! Oh my gosh. Y'all, I am so honored right now at that. Thank you so much. You know, I just want to dedicate this to my family and Donald Trump, because, you know, I wouldn't be able to achieve this without our Lord and Savior Donald Trump, who is also Archangel Uriel and the reincarnation of Archangel Michael. Just, I appreciate it. Thank you. I love you, BML Gamer. I'm gonna promote him to a moderator, you know, make him a moderator. Just, y'all, I'm gonna be sacrificed. Wait, hold on, are we is this sponsored by Doritos? I'm gonna assume it's sponsored by Doritos. Yeah, it's sponsored by Doritos. I can't face the right direction. Get hit by a fist. Posner. I'm sorry, I think I know you from... I think I know you from somewhere else. Like, a furry visual novel community. That name is just very familiar. There's like literally someone else who has that same name. But anyways, what's up? I'm glad you're here all the same. We love people here. First one, right? First one. I wouldn't say first one. I mean, you're not the first one here. We talked before. Oh! Yes! You were here for the second live stream. That's why I thought your name was so familiar. Well, I am glad you're back. And I would like... Yeah, we talked about Horus and other gods and stuff like that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, oh my gosh. But I deadass know someone in a visual novel community I'm in that like actually has like the same exact username as you. I think his is like Possumer or something. Oh, so you had like 2 accounts, gotcha. Yeah, but how has your life been? Because you had like a whole bunch of stuff going on. Like, how has that been? I just want to know how you've been like, oh, like, are you alive? You've been not dead, right? That's all that matters to me.
Crisis at Coney Island.
Crisis at Coney Island. Because like I gave you that one tarot card reading, and you had like a lot of stuff going on. Okay. I'm sorry, like I'm sorry, I know someone else with the name that like with that name I think, except it's spelled like Possumer. So they just look very similar. And I'm also like very, very dyslexic. No. Been struggling but doing better now. Well, me and you both, my friend. I just hope, did my tarot card reading help you out? Or I mean, like, you can be honest. If you're like, no, it was actually, like, the most useless thing I've ever had to deal with. Please never give me one again. I'd be like, okay, yeah, I respect that. I hope it at least gave you some direction or some motivation at the time. And again, like, as I said, me and you too, my friend. Because, like, a lot of us have been struggling. America's a pretty difficult place to live in right now. But you know, the only thing that matters is that we are all here together as a community. It wasn't a tarot reading, it was a moon card deck reading, which is the only one I use because I don't like tarot. But I'd probably like to do tarot. I did give you a reading though, is what the card said. But again, like, we've all been kind of struggling. Also, Mistress Angelica, might I ask what religion you are? Obviously, it doesn't really matter what, like, religion you are specifically. Obviously, I will not discriminate. But I've been, like, very curious. Also, speaking of Horus, I had a really weird dream with Horus the other day. It was so weird because I had a dream that Horus, I don't think it was Horus, I just had a dream about a hawk. And this hawk was just a very nice hawk, and it like, and I just like, the hawk was very nice, and it just like let me pet it, like touch its wings for some reason, and I'm just, it's a very interesting dream. Hippie hoppity hooray, I'm a mod! Yes, you are a mod now. I expect that if anybody comes in here saying that they don't like Doritos, you ban them instantly. Like, we retracted. Oh, he's dead. He died. Guys, he's dead. Man, he's dead. I follow my own path in the occult. What exactly does occult mean? I've kind of heard people define that term very differently. See anything. Oh. I hate this. I hate this. I can't do anything. I can't. I hate this. Die. Just leave me alone. Why? I don't know what the heck was happening here. We were also just talking about how awful modern tarot, or how awful modern paganism is. Oh, interesting. To find what's hidden using magic, my own terms, I would alter to occult. So that's what an occult is. Interesting. Do you guys worship? Do you have like worship any gods in the occult? Or is it just like kind of like a bit of a satanistic perspective, and it's like self-worship and stuff? To find what is hidden. So I guess gods effectively would be part of that occult thing, because they are the what is hidden. I pray to a cartoon character. Oh my gosh, really? What's his name? Is it Johnny Bravo? Something takes on those pairs. Is it Johnny Bravo? I won't predict. I'll predict. Oh, sorry, I'm not meaning to make fun of you. You just say like a cartoon character. My first thought for some reason was like Johnny Bravo. Yeah, bro, fucking Johnny Bravo, Elvis impersonator. Let's do this. I just think, you know, that Johnny Bravo just like really had some like good insight to how the world should be run. You know, living in a very like sexist, you know, nation. You know, I think that was just. I think his words just touched me. You know. Janny Proudmore, lol, JB is beast funny. Days back, funny back from Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo was in the 90s? Fuck! Holy shit, I feel old. So that wasn't even born in the 90s. I was watching that shit like... I was watching that shit like on fucking Boomerang and shit. Gosh, way to make me feel old. Thanks. I hate this. I hate this. Guys, I hate everything. I win. Anyways. Yeah, we just pray to everybody. Let's pray to our Lord and Savior, Johnny Bravo. I think it was early 2000s. I do just want to say, despite the fact I'm so obnoxiously tired for some reason, I don't even know why I'm tired. I am just very tired. Probably my episodes have been pretty bad lately. Can we talk about how bad, like, New Age spirituality is? Or can we talk about why it's really bad for people to worship a person? AKA Donald Trump. Like, I'm sorry, I can't get over a comment that I got addressed in... Not even a comment I got addressed. It was a comment that I saw on someone else's post, and it deadass said that you need to respect Donald Trump. The only reason you don't like Donald Trump is because you don't respect his authority. Repent and confess your sins to him. Y'all, people are deadass painting Donald Trump as Jesus. I don't understand. Like, can we just talk about why it's very important? Like, who the hell else worships? Hold on, I want to check out James Proudmore. Who the hell worships him? I don't know. Ask, like, MAGA, because they genuinely think he's Jesus. Yeah, you can look it up. Like, you can look at his MAGA occult. It's gotten that bad, and they're using Norse symbolism too and pagan symbolism, which doesn't make any sense. I have to use the restroom. BRB. Two different people. Yeah, there's just Republicans, and then there's that, whatever that is. Everyone, I'm back! Hey, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Sorry. I really had to pee. And then I needed a drink of water. And then I had to close my window. And then I grabbed a sucker. But we're here now. Where were we? We were on a lot of topics. We were mostly talking about Donald Trump, people worshiping Donald Trump for some reason. You think they're trolling? That's the problem. They're not. They deadass have a stat. There was deadass somebody who was praying to Donald Trump. He got into police, like he got in trouble with the police. And he deadass starts going, Donald Trump, if you can hear me, please, Donald Trump. Please, Trump, save me. Please save me, Donald Trump. He starts praying to Donald Trump. Like, bro, this is an issue. We don't want a repeat of the comic crisis of 1910. Ah. Dang it, I tried looking at the YouTube comments. I'm trying to think of some important things to talk about, because there's a lot. But mostly, I had everything addressed in the beginning. I feel like a gamer. I got like a sucker in my mouth. I got my headphones on. Man, I just have the gameplay for you guys. Honestly, 23 views. That's not bad. It's like better than a lot of some of my videos have done. I'm just trying to see how long I've been streaming for. Okay. Just making sure I'm not like 3 hours. Oh, let's take this. Dang it, I kind of regret grabbing the sucker now. Oh shit, your temple. Is there, do you have it like on your YouTube channel? Also, hello, Super Desmond. 7 hour and 7 minutes. Is it on your YouTube channel? Is that where your altar? Is that where your altar is at? And again, also hi Super Desmond. Like your name, unironically. Well, I hope we didn't come here because of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle gameplay. I'm also terrible. Well, I used to be really good at the game. And I stopped playing. It's right there, okay. Let me check it out real quick. I'm not getting a link is the thing. Yeah, I don't have a link is the issue. Try to send it again. Might send it that time. I don't have any link is the problem. I can't copy and paste it. There's no link. I don't like have a link. I want to check out your altar. I just don't have a link. Copy and paste what? I'm so confused. Really, I just need to know what I need to copy and paste. That's it. if you can give me a link, I will 100% like I'll show it on stream and everything. Unless you don't want me to, I don't know, but like I really do want to see your temple. Really? Does it like keep saying something like cannot send? Email? We can, yeah, I do think I gave you my email. But I was gonna say, well, let you like comment. Yeah, it might just be better to do it via email. Here, I'll leave my email for you in the chat. You got the mind, it's a really cringy name. I made this like years ago. When I originally had like a whole different plan for streams. I have tried streaming like 3 times. Like I've tried being like a streamer 3 times and I've failed miserably at all of them. You see if you can send it to me that way. Just let me know when you sent it and I'll look at it. Alright. Wait, I'm gonna wait. Give me a second. Let me beat this stage real quick. And then I'll give it a look. Sorry, this sucker is really good. I'm trying to like actually talk, but I thought this sucker would make things better. It did not. I was wrong. I lied. I lied to myself. I was lied to by myself. Awful. I hate this. Stop it. Can we talk about, that's likely why. Because YouTube will not, like, they'll probably think you're trying to, like, scam me or something. I don't know, you're probably trying to send me, like, free Robux or something. Yeah, that's what you're doing, isn't it? Why don't you just tell me the truth? You're trying to send me free Robux. I'm gonna report you. I'm gonna have to ban you now, because you're trying to scam me with your free Robux, man. I'm not gonna fall for it. Mwahaha. I do just want to ask this because I'm not sure everybody who's in here. Does anybody have religious trauma? Like, how many of us in here have religious trauma? Is what I want to know. Well, it's no. You're trying to send me free Robux on Reddit. I see your little scheme here. It's also clear to me now. But who all in here has like religious trauma? System crash.
What? Scoop.
I was trying to sell my soul. Sell your soul to what? That's like a very broad, like, thing. Also, I have noticed on your altar, is that Gnostic? That's like the big tree of That's like a big tree. That big tree reminds me of Gnosticism. Hold on, there's something I want to ask, because this is confusing me. Why exactly were you trying to sell your soul to Lilith, though? That's what I'm curious about. Like, no hate here, but... Hold on, I need to find something real quick. Because... Okay. Never mind. It's personal. Alright, I get you. But is that thing, when I was looking at the video of your altar, if you want, I can pull it up and, like, show everybody if you're okay with that? It's a pretty cool looking altar. You okay if I show everybody? Your temple. Well, no, it wasn't like a tree. It's this thing. Like, this is from Gnosticism, I remember. I think it's a broad thing. Anubis Egyptian? Yes, Anubis the Egyptian god. God of the dead. I wanted to have a like a I wanted to have like a room that I would dedicate to like multiple different like religions, like a little temple. It'd be called the Universal Priest. Might I add, what's the point of the all the U.S. presidents? I'm kind of curious. Like, I'm just curious for your reasoning on that. I'm new. Sorry, just came by randomly. Random. It's interesting to be honest. Oh. Oh no, you're fine. I'm not. You don't have to like worry about me being like like. How could you not know Anubis is an Egyptian god? Yeah, I'm not gonna be like that. But I'm here to, if you have any questions that you're interested in, feel free to ask. Because I'm a monk for, I'll just kind of give you a little bit of an introduction. I am a monk for Anubis. I work with the Egyptian god of the dead. I work very heavily with him to kind of help the world in a way. I've worked with spirits that have moved on, spirits that struggle to move on. I've worked with people who struggle to move on. So, you have any questions about paganism or any gods in general, from Christianity to Japanese gods, ask away. I'm here to answer any question, and I'm being very respectful. I'm very respectful, and there's no judgment from me either. So whatever you say, you will never have to feel like you're being judged for something. So don't worry.
Tonight, I dine on turtle soup.
So you collect coins. And you know, you gotta think of it kind of like this. You know, as much as we kind of shit on a lot of presidents, let's be real, they're still leaders. They still have a job to do. It's always good to respect them for the position that they have been in. Other than a couple presidents. Irish, huh? What's really funny? I'm also part Irish. And when you say Egyptian, empress, there's a couple of them, so are you speaking about Cleopatra? Because that'd be the only one I could think of that likely went to Ireland. I mean, but speaking of Irish, but I actually do worship some of the Irish gods, like the Morgan. But yeah, just trying to get to like a clarification on which empress you're talking about. I gotta wonder, do you guys think it might be like a, I don't know, like a dinosaur god? Anyone ever worshipped a dinosaur? Maybe like a mammoth god? I know we have like a lot of elephant gods in Hinduism, but I'm not sure about like bigger gods. And ironically, there was a monkey god at one point, which I thought was really interesting. Stop. Why? Gosh dang it. This is why we need to push for more gun control. This is stupid. Sorry, I was just a shitty joke. Queen Scotia. Interesting. No, I didn't hear about that story. What, can you tell me a little bit more about it? Do you think the universe is a simulation? You know, I think there's a lot of room to make a theory about that, but I don't necessarily say I could concretely believe this theory like that. That the world we live in is just a simulation. I mean, I definitely think there's some things that kind of make sense, that I can kind of like correlate with something like that, but I myself just could not believe it without harder proof. But the only thing that really makes me think of a simulation is the fact that I'll think of like a song, and then for some reason that song shows up. Or there's one really funny experience I had where a friend of mine and I were literally talking about a video game and how expensive and difficult it was. But before we talked about that video game, we were talking about how shitty another video game was. And his fucking dad walks in, okay? His dad walks in and freaking comes in with the expensive video game. He said he just randomly found it laying around at a house he was working on. So he comes in with the expensive video game, and me and my friend are just looking at each other like, what the fuck? Like, I swear at that point, he just, like, completely converted to just being, like, spiritual or, like, religious, believing in some kind of creation of the universe, or whatever it is really now. And he just, like, we start laughing our asses off, and then we open the game, and it was the shitty game we were talking about that was inside of it. And unironically, we were talking about how broken and unplayable the game was. Well, when we opened the fucking disc, like, to the game, because it was a PlayStation 2 game, the fucking game was cracked. It was just like, the universe literally just played a joke on me. That intuition, I think. I hate this game. I hate getting hit. I'm dead. Man, I'm dead. going there. I need to make. I'm gonna have tacos for dinner tonight. Intuition. I don't know if it was intuition or if it was just dead ass the fucking universe saying, you know what, I need to laugh, and it did that. Like me and my friend laughed our asses off because there was just no way that happened. There is no way something like that conveniently happens. Like the chances of that is like catching like 16 consecutive shiny Pokemon all at the same time. Bum, 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 bum. Pizza time. Pizza sounds really good right now. Hey, does somebody know how to make pizza? No? Anubis, do you know how to make pizza? Also, Mr. Zombie, why... I was just kind of curious. Ow, fuck! Shit, I had dirt in my eye. Ah. Okay. Had like dirt lodged in the back of my eye. It was awful. But Mr. Zombie, why like, I can do some research into it and talk about it, like if you want. Like I can find an article and we can talk about it on stream if you want. Ouch. What's your guys' thoughts on the concept of hell? I want to know that. What's your guys' thoughts on the concept of hell? Like, again, I myself am not Christian. I myself am against some of what the Bible teaches, but that's just me. As that a very old saying goes, that really old saying goes, rules for thee, but not for me. I think he is trying to show a link, but it deleted it. Maybe? Like, shit, I got dirt in my eye. Ow. Painful. I've kind of, so this is really interesting. I don't know much about her, but her grave is in Ireland. She's something to do with the 9 hostages of Ireland. I have to read into that. 9 hostages of Ireland. Nine hostages, and they buried her, and yeah, that has to suck. I fucking forgot how, hold on, I wanna look this up real quick. The 9 hostages of Ireland. What is this? The Irish Empire. I know the Irish Empire didn't last for very long. Received with the epithet because he had... I'm interested now. I'm like, now I have to like, I now have to read into this. What was the... Okay, so Nyla Noigalahash, or Nyhala, or of the 9 hostages, was a legendary semi-historical Ireland king who was the ancestor of Uneli dynasties that dominated Ireland for 6 to 10 centuries. He himself is green. Well, let me see if I can figure. Oh, I see if I can read into this a little bit more to find some information on her. What is this? Why can I not find it? Nala is presumed on the basis of its importance of his sons and grandsons. He has been a historical person. Says a little about him. The death. What is this? Why can't I... Why can't I find... What is the 9 hostages of... This is like, why is this so difficult to find stuff on? It is. It's like I can't even find anything. It gives me nothing. What do you mean it's a former king? Okay. Why is you keep telling me Nyla of the 9 hostages? Okay, I don't just want one 9. I don't want just one. This is hard. I can't find anything on it. 3 million Irish descendants. Why is Nyla called the 9 hostages? He had a penchant for taking hostages from other kingdoms, according to folklore. His most famous hostage was a man named Scavat, better known as Saint Patrick. I'm trying to find stuff on this. There's a whole video on it. Okay, I guess the real question we should have to ask is who were the 9... Okay, wrong word. Who were the 9 hostages? That does not answer the question! Stop! Oh my gosh, I'm gonna fight this. Okay, good point. That'll work better. Queen Scotia. Early sources trace back to Scotia's literature. In the 12th century, Scota appears in the Irish Chronicle Book of Listus and the Redeemed. 9th century, she was the earliest surviving vision of the story, but does not mention Scota directly. That Scota was the mother of Golagas. Sorry, this is probably really boring for some people. Stone of Scone is credited with being the first connection to the stone scorn. Scota Foundation Legends in his 1301 work, Processor, putting forth the argument that Scotland, not Israel or Ireland, is the original source. According to Ireland, according to national, following a site. So she apparently wasn't a queen. Medieval Irish legend, Scota. Oh, it's a legend that she is the daughter of an Egyptian pharaoh. I don't have any origins or proof of that. Tell Anubis I said hi. He knows who I am back in 2017 to 2018. Hey Anubis, Postner says hi. Oh, he didn't say anything. Yeah, dude. I feel you there. Because, I think 2017, gosh, man. I always felt like Anubis was, like, with me for, like, the longest time period. Like, I used to, like, I always felt like Anubis has always been there. Even if, like, I didn't realize it at the time. And he just said yee. I don't know why he says that. But yeah, you know, I wonder, that's kind of sad. I would feel, like, really bad if an Egyptian pharaoh, like, ended up just, like, you know, going to Ireland. I don't know why the heck they call it the 9 hostages. It just doesn't make any sense. 9 hostages. Why is it just associated with a king? I thought this was like a situation that they associate with, like, the title means a king. It doesn't make any sense. It's just kind of sad. How many people never make it home? And Ireland is such a beautiful place. I don't know how many people in here actually worship Anubis, but I would like to ask, you know, how many of you actually have always thought that Anubis has been with you even when you didn't realize it at the time? Because I know I was one. I think I had seen him a couple of times, but me being Christian probably would have just been like, not real God, no. I can't believe how much Christianity has genuinely hurt the spiritual field. Like, so many people have suffered at the hands of Christian ignorance, spirituality, or imposing rules of spirituality.
I hope you learned a lesson.
I do want to say that we were talking earlier about like getting help for trauma and not projecting insecurities on the gods. So I just want to clarify to people that if you have an issue, go get help. Do not think that gods are just going to fix this to you. You have to fix things yourself. Fuck me! Halloween came from Ireland? Yeah, I think so. Ireland, Halloween was definitely not a Christian thing, that's for sure. But it's always been very difficult for us to fully be able to, like, piece when some of these holidays were, like, first discussed. But, you know, I actually really love Ireland. Maybe, like, I will live there one day, honestly. That is where the Morgan was. It's from the Celtics. And then Queen, whichever queen, ruined everything. Because then they went and colonized, and they took away all of the Celtics' belief system. So, you can thank religious persecutors for that. Yay, guys, we just love persecution. That's what we vouch for in this chat, okay? We vouch for the persecution of people because we think that totally fixes problems, and it's great. Can we actually just talk about how, like, America has never fixed its, like, religious issues, and, like, we're kind of going back because Britain is fixing the religious problems? The game sounds like Sonic or Strider. It sounds kind of like a mixture of both, honestly. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. And you know what? You're 100% right. It absolutely sounds like Sonic. And Streets of Rage. Also, I'm kind of curious. How did you know about that situation in the 9 Hostages of Ireland? How did you know about it? Mrs. I'm going to do some research into it. Maybe I'll make a video on, like, another channel to discuss, like, the history of that situation. Sorry, I'm, like, trying to concentrate on this, but I don't want to, like, concentrate too much on it because it's pretty useless. Any comments? But, like, what was really important about that situation is what I want to know. Like, did someone just draw you to that? I hate this. I hate this. These hitboxes. You know, Pastaner, I really do hope that things will look up better for you in the future. Because I've noticed that a lot of the times in the live stream, you got a lot going on in your life. I'm hoping that whatever's holding you down, whatever chains that may be stringing your wings, I hope that eventually everything will get worked out. It's not fair that you have to keep being thrown through so much. I've been in your shoes, I know how it feels.
The old dome has seen better days.
I'm doing better now. Well, I hope and think. Aw. Ow. Well, I'm glad you're doing better, because I know last time we talked you were having like a lot of issues. Weren't you planning on going back to college too? Like, I'm trying to remember what you were talking about that you had going on. There was like a lot you said that was going on. You ever had, yes, not really a near-death experience, but I have seen death and what happens, and it was a pretty weird situation. I can actually tell you about like a handful of near-death experiences that I have heard from pagans. Because like, unironically, there's like a lot of these near-death experiences like are really weird sounding, but they make sense when you understand like some of like the mythologies and stuff. This year in Feb and March was pain, but to be honest, I think you have me confused with someone else. I don't think I do. I think you mentioned. No, the first time there was someone. Tell us about the near-death experience. I can tell you about like a multitude of near-death experiences from people. I myself have only had like
Quite delicious.
like very lucid dreams about things that were shown to me by the gods. I can't dodge two of
Not
them.
working the way I planned. That's nice, fella.
So
I hope you learned
my personal experience was I had been dragged into, I had been pulled into some, like, not really castle, but I had been pulled into some room with a bunch of different gods. And I know which gods they were. It was Hell, it was Hell, it was the Morgan, Anubis, Thanatos, Hades. There's like multiple different gods that were in that room, and I remember I was crying, and I just remember that none of the gods looked like they had any pity on their face. They all looked very serious and pitiless, but at the same time I could feel as though they understood, like they understood me, and they understood like why I was crying. So it felt like this situation of like, they don't have pity, but they do have sympathy. And it was definitely I've seen a Shadow Hat man. Dude, I've had that same exact experience. I've never been able to figure out who the fuck it was. When I first had that experience, I didn't know who it was. And I went back and looked at it. It was Anubis, but there was a dog with mine. The man was walking a dog. That even my dog herself was confused. She just like didn't know what the fuck she was looking at. And I just remember, the one thing I always remember when I think about that dream and think of Hell is just how beautiful she looked. She literally looked like the most beautiful woman I had ever seen, even though I'm gay, but she had been like the most beautiful woman I had ever seen, and at the same time, she looked like she was also the one person who also just did not care. And the Morgan too, she was pretty like very like intimidating with her glare. Anubis has got a very terrifying face.
More Frank's will shall be done.
Trying to think. Some other near-death experiences I've heard from pagans. There was a pagan account where the person they met was Hell. And like a pagan near-death experience that said they encountered Hell. And then there was this one story from a guy that said he was in the hospital, he was dying, and he said himself that he had never really thought about, like, near-death experience. Like, he had never really thought of death. He was pretty much agnostic. And he said that when he started to die, it was like this weird, trippy event because he wasn't actually dead, but he was kind of like sitting in this like weird limbo-esque kind of position. And he said that it was like he hadn't even like really thought about it, and he said that he was seeing things from like every direction and not just one direction. So he was like seeing from the behind him, in front of him, like he didn't like have like any kind of secular vision. It was just, you saw everywhere. And then he mentions that he had seen 3 women that were like looking down on him, and then they looked over at him and they weren't like angry or anything. They just had like a look of, well, you're not supposed to be here. Kind of like, not like, he couldn't even describe how they looked. It's just what it felt like they were kind of saying, or how they were kind of presenting themselves. And he then says that he started panicking, and all he could feel was like he was being eaten by demons. And the woman said, these women say in a very calm voice, anything you think of will manifest here. And eventually he kind of got pulled back into his body, but he said it was like a traumatizing experience for him to be in. And I didn't realize at the time. I had kind of gone back and re-looked at the situation, and I find out that it was the 3 sisters of the 3 sisters depicted in the Greek mythology that were known for stringing the webs of people's lives. It was the 3 sisters that had visited him, because he described them in the manner of 3, and they were all looking at him like they were kind of looking down at his life. And so there was that. I'm like, oh, that sounds pretty like the 3 sisters are depicted inside of the Greek mythology. So like, honestly, I know a lot of people, like, a lot of times people just like associate like every near-death experience as a Christian near-death experience. Anything you think of will manifest here. Well, that's what it was. And that actually adds up with another account that somebody had made about like a near-death experience they had, where their friend like got into like, was like dead for like a whole day and was brought back, and when asked like what it was like, all he said was it was like he could do anything he wanted manifested, and he felt like he was free from everything. And his friend like eventually went and like offed himself and killed himself, and he says that he thinks it was because his friend like just saw something 10 times more better than where he was at. It was pretty freaking wild. Some of these near-death experiences, like when you look at near-death experiences from non-Christians, they are a whole shit ton of other stories. Like, I've heard Buddhist accounts of near-death experiences, being visited by the Buddha. Like, there's like a lot of shit that like people are ignoring. Like, we really don't know what's out there. There is so many accounts, but it seems like the one thing we can almost be concretely known for is that there is some kind of afterlife, but it is probably not like heaven. And it actually goes back into that thing you talked about earlier when you said that hell is... Sorry, something... My frequency got higher in my room. But like when you said that hell's like a state of mind, that is a pretty common theory that people like have because of like a lot of like near-death experiences have kind of added up with the correlation that it's just a state of mind. And a lot of people who think they're going to hell end up going to hell. A lot of people who truthfully think they're going to heaven end up going to heaven. Just kind of starts to add up after a while. That you're probably right. I don't really think hell is a place, though. I don't think it's a state of mind. Same with me. The same night, morning, I see the shadow hat man. It drained the life out of me. Died for a bit. Went straight up into space. Sounds mad. then back down, then the sunlight came up into my room. Shadow Man vanished. Oh my gosh, dude. No, I had another experience similar to that. Back in, my first year in college. I'll be here, don't worry. Back in my first year in college, I had this, like, weird dream in December. I don't know what the fuck was causing it, but I had this, like, really weird dream in December that I had, like, all of my friends and family coming to me for something, and I was standing on top of a building with, like, a gun to my head, and all I could see was, like, text saying, like, kill yourself and save the world. And it was such, like, a traumatizing experience, but I remember, like, feeling like I was dying and then waking up, and there was, like, a shadowy figure that was on, there was, like, a shadowy figure that was on, that was, like, in my room. It was trippy. Is this game on PS3, 4? Yes, it's on PlayStation 4, PC, Nintendo Switch, and I think it's not on Xbox. It's a very good game, though. It's Ninja Turtle. But yeah, no, I've had, like, very similar experiences like you're describing. And for the longest time, I thought that it meant that I was supposed to, like, kill myself and save the world. And I always, like, used to think that, like, because I used to blame myself for COVID. I used to be like, oh my gosh, COVID-19 only happened because I didn't die when I was supposed to. Like, gosh, I know. This thing is annoying, I hate it. But yeah, no, those shadow figures, you don't mess with them. Those shadow figures are something else. Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't know. I don't really know. The shadow people, like, a lot of us people in the spiritual community, it's, like, really hard to study, like, what causes these spiritual beings to exist in the way that they exist in. Because it's like, how do they exist? Why do they exist? Like, what's the difference between, like, shadow people and, like, a normal spirit? Why do shadow people specifically just seemingly want to be creepy? Like, there's so many, like, unanswered questions. I gotta go. See you next time. Alright, I'll see you next time. No, I'm gonna miss him, man. We're almost there. I'm almost done with the game. I'm almost there. Then I'll have to end the stream myself. I genuinely do. If anyone could ever answer me that question in the comment section of, like, what exactly are shadow people, that'd be great. And what are some of, like, the first depictions we have of them?
This is not working the way I planned. Going live.
Sorry, fucking rock people. I hate rock people. Rock people are evil. Like, I don't know. There's just, like, a lot of unanswered questions that we have when it comes to some of the stuff in spirituality. But it's always so difficult for us to study it because it's like Mr. Zombie said in the beginning, you know. Or not Mr. Zombie, it was Possumer said, we simply just don't have, like, we don't really have, like, a good clarification of what some of the stuff is, or, you know, it's all about trying to find what is unseen, because a lot is unseen to us. Bro, I hate turtles. This game has made me dislike this turtle specifically. Oh, go rock. No, leave me alone. Punch.
No, I've been trashed.
I've been trashed. Ugh.
What a scoop!
Hold on. Was there a turtle god? I'm curious. Hold on. I need to look this up. I'll be right back. Hold on, I have to see this. There's probably a turtle god somewhere in Hinduism. Turtle god. I feel like that's also unironically like a little kid's like a little kid's username. Kurama. That's a turtle god. I was right, Hinduism. Seriously, they got like gods for everything. Or is that was Kurama? Sorry, now I'm really interested. Kurama. Yeah, that's Hindu. Interesting. I didn't know there was a Hindu god. Turtles. Let's see. We got Hindu gods of monkeys, Hindu gods of the same god, Hindu gods of... Is there like a Hindu boar god?
Outworld strength.
Probably. Yep. Oh, that's a Celtic god. Buscus. Yep, Hindu god. It's a another Celtic god of I think fertility. Buscus. Oh, it's a Native American. Wait, which one's Native American? Hindus? Because Hindus, yeah, that's pretty Native American. If I remember correctly, they were the first religion. Does anyone in here work with Thor? Probably not. I'll have to find someone else with some questions on Thor. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, game. I'm sorry, I can't deal with all of this. I'm sorry, my bad. I really should have just learned how to go Ultra Instinct. I should have just become fucking Goku to deal with this shit. My bad. Sorry I wasn't born fucking Goku. Sorry I wasn't born a Saiyan. Sorry my Lord and Savior Gohan. I hate this. Sorry, I'm quoting Dragon Ball now and I don't know why. I don't think anyone is gonna watch this Dragon Ball. Why is my house shit? But yeah, Hindus weren't all Native Americans. I think their religion was amongst one of the first. But I think it's been really a big matter of debate if like Hindus have been a bit of a problem throughout history because they keep claiming that everything in religions are theirs. In a similar sense, we have the same issue with like the Africans because they also claim that like everything in modern day religion is theirs actually, and stuff like that. Yeah, the turtle god was a Native American. You're right. But again, Hindus were Native Americans, so. Imagine if there was like a rock god. Can we be real here? Can you guys imagine how weird that'd be? You had like a rock god, a god of the rocks. I think I'd find something close. In Japan, we had like a god of the seashore and stuff like that. You know, it's like a, what's his face? I don't remember his name, but he was a god of the shore. I hate dinosaurs. I like unironic they've been looking into dinosaurs lately because it's such an interesting thing to note that people who deny evolution oftentimes have no rebuttal against dinosaurs. Because there's simply just no... We have all the proof of dinosaurs, we have no proof of some of those claims made by anti-evolution people. Sorry, I probably should be talking more, and I am not. This is on my fault. What is our religious belief systems in here, do we know? Ireland has forgotten gods like Eru, Danu. Yeah, there was a shit ton of... I think they called them specifically the old gods. There's probably a lot more old gods than we know of, because we only know such a vague interpretation of history, because we don't have like the full story. What the fuck? That's awful. Why don't I just add Mr. Zombie? Are you by any chance like Celtic pagan or like Celtic in some way? Like agnostic or skeptic of just religion in general? Because all are valid. Even Christianity. Bye. Ugly. Golem? Is it a golem? Probably. That was probably what I was fighting. That is probably a rock god. A golem. You're probably right. B. Dang it. Let's stop doing this.
Any comments?
I'm trying to say, is Golem like a rock god, or is Golem like the religion you practice?
You fell for my diversion. I have a surprise for you. I will show you how a true ninja fights. The world is mine.
Ouch. Well, actually, funnily enough, I'd like to point out that, like, I've kind of noticed that, like, Japan really didn't have gods to some degree. They just had, like, really smart people that they more or less followed. Like, that was a big, like deciding point into Confucianism. Shredder, I swear, are you capable of doing anything else? You are the biggest disappointment of a ninja. You fucking play I'm sorry, I didn't know I was playing against a basic fighting game ninja who just spams counter! I swear, I bet you if I just, like, go up here in the corner, all he'll do is just spam, yep. Oh, now you'll do something when you get in the fuck. I hate you, Shredder. No, fuck you.
Any
Your
comment?
revenge has failed.
What? Scoop.
Any comment? Sorry. Fucking Shredder.
You haven't seen the last of me.
The biggest question we think we can possibly ask is, how are gods even created in the first place? Sometimes I have to wonder if they're just really enlightened people, but when they died, their souls started to live on as something else. And according to Japanese mythology, gods had like their own culture. They'd like meet up every... What the fuck? Would I even get hit by that? Shit. I wonder if we could worship the Statue of Liberty. You know, she represents a lot of things. Awful. Again, like, why can't we worship the Statue of Liberty? She's like such a good, like, a semblance. Meet statues of gods. Why can't we do it the same with, you know, we worship those. Why not make them? In Ireland, there's still a lot of paganism still around. Like a few days ago, a big festival celebrates being Equinox, brought up as Catholic, but don't follow any religion. Gotcha. I am getting my ass kicked for things I solely have no response. I have nothing. I have no control over. Felt going with some type of Jewish type of. Fight sucks. Sorry. I probably should be focusing but on the comments, but gosh, this fight is awful. Who made God? The real question is what is God? How do we define it? Because if we're defining it by the biblical standards, we have a pretty awful God. Let's be real here. Maybe if we like overthrew our creator, we would actually have a better functioning world. I always used to think God had parents, and actually, my theory wasn't too far off when I read into Gnosticism, because it's pretty much the Gnostics say that God was made by people, or was made by a person, or a god, another goddess. Ouch. Probably shouldn't just stop. What the hell? What even happened there? Come on. Die already! Just die! Why is this so hard? Okay. Here we go, guys. Yes! I did it. I win. Clap for myself.
Impossible.
Impossible. It was awful.
Let's go.
I'm gonna get my tarot deck out. My new deck, actually. Okay, so with it being the spring equinox, I'm gonna open up my tarot book. Cards. I'm gonna do a reading. This might take a little bit. So, just to kind of clarify a couple things with my tarot reading, I want to specify a couple things. I don't know who the message in these cards are for. They might not be for anyone here. They might be for someone else who will eventually stumble across them. Sometimes it may not make sense at first, might make sense in the future. I also do tell a story with my tarot cards. So, I don't do traditional tarot readings. I normally put out like 7 cards. It's how my moon deck normally works. And I will spread them out. And I'll do a reading like that. I'll spread them out. I'll do a reading like, spread them out. And then I'll flip them up. And then as I flip them up, I kind of try to tell a story with how the cards are placed. So, whoever's message this is for, message is for you. You know, I hope it finds whoever it is well. Now, shit, how does somebody get that many points?
Teenage Mutant Blast Kids.
Well, you know, you're probably not too far off from that, honestly. Alright, so let's do this tarot reading. Hope I get something interesting. You know, I actually said before that the simulation theory with life is not a theory that's fully backed up. There's definitely some interesting thoughts that go into it. Who is this message for? Graph. Hard to do. I pulled that card. That just kind of came out in this weird position. Good games, thank you. Even though we didn't play, good games. GG. I am a shadow. I am a true self. I'm you. You're me. Submit to me. Submit to me. Heroes in the half shell. Am I the only one who watches the Ninja Turtles in here? Probably. Oh, what's this card? I saw that one came from the heart. Wow. What is wow? What do you mean by wow? More cards just keep falling. It's like the weirdest thing. I've never had cards just fall. This is probably going to end up being like a very general message that'll apply to everybody. If that is the case, then, well, I guess that's just the message this month. Cat, kitty, cat, cat, kitty, cat, cat. Dum to the hunt, to the put to the yeah. Cut, cut dead ass. I'm having trouble pulling another card. Just nothing that... There's nothing else? No, there's more. There's more, but what? I don't understand. What? Goodness, why is this difficult? Oh shit, there's one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I did. Okay. AD. Alright, I don't know whose message this is, so. Just gonna scatter these cards out. Let's tell this story. Who is this story for? First card we pull. Prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus. Prosperity is in the future. Success. But how do we achieve that success? Let's ask that question. Yeah, this is exactly what I thought. It's going to be a general message to everybody. To succeed, you need to step out of your comfort zone. Maybe everybody needs to hear this, including myself. The answers you need are coming. So to get your answers, you need to step out of your comfort zone. How did you learn tarot cards? It's interesting and always curious. It's interesting, always curious about them. I've always been interested in trying to do tarot, but I never got an official tarot deck. I got a moon deck. And that's kind of where I ended up learning tarot reading from. Kind of just self-practice. Look at the bigger picture. A new star is coming. Hold or vision. Balance spirituality and practice. Yeah, this is just a pretty standard message. Kind of what I thought it would end up being. So we have the full moon in Taurus, which says that prosperity lies ahead, and after that comes the step out of your comfort zone. So what can we infer from this? Well, pretty simply, you want success, you're going to have to get out there. Ever read tea leaves? I've been interested in trying to do tea leaves reading, and I have never been able to figure out how the process is done. The answers you need are coming. Look at the bigger picture. I wonder if we swap this. Look at the bigger picture. Step out of your comfort zone. Look at the bigger picture. The answers that you want from that bigger picture are coming. So the true answers that you'll get are ones that you are found after you look into the bigger picture. What's the question I would ask for whoever's story this is there's a bigger picture, there's something you really want to do. And you need answers because you're not sure. But you need to look yourself at your own future to figure that out. That's how you'll get the answers you want. A new star is coming. Well, whatever you're going to do, you're going to succeed. You shouldn't have to worry about that. So hold on to your vision. And for whatever religion, no religion you may have, balance spirituality and practice. I do want to say that this card was pulled last and separate, so I think this card may not particularly apply to some people. Which is the full moon in Pisces, which is the balance spirituality and practice. So, exactly like I said, everybody, a very simple message that people can apply to their day-to-day life. I think this is someone's story. It might even be my story. I might have just pulled for myself on accident. But in short, today's tarot message is prosperity will lie ahead as long as you step out of your comfort zone. You want answers to your future? Well, you're going to have to look at the bigger picture. Whatever you're going to do, you're going to succeed. You shouldn't have to worry about failure. So hold on to your vision. And for those who may not be religious or people who may be religious, make sure you're balancing your spirituality and practice. Don't ever let it don't get too engrossed in it, but don't forget that it exists. And that is where I conclude the live stream tonight. Well, thank you guys all for coming out tonight. I'm really glad I was able to meet with so many people. I'm also glad I got to meet you, Mr. Zombie. If you want more content in the future, I've do a bunch of kind of stuff on this channel. You're free to ask or request videos. I'll normally try to work on them. But yeah, if you want to subscribe, go on ahead. You can leave a like if you want to as well. And with all of that being said, I hope you guys all have a lovely night.